In this video, I'm going to do an overview of what professional and general liability insurance is and what it means for your home care agency and why it is required and how it benefits you and your business. My name is Scott McKenzie. For those of you that do not know me, I am the owner and operator of a home care agency based in Irvine, California called Golden Age Companions. We've been in business since 2011 and have generated over $8 million of total revenue. I also own a company called Home Care Agency Blueprint, which is designed to help you start, scale, and grow your very own home care agency. It is a course coupled with a coaching program, and it is not a franchise. So let's dive in here. So this is one of the topics that I'm often asked on insurances. People tend to, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I want to create some clarity around that. I'm going to be speaking to this insurance related to home care industry realm, and I will do an overview of what professional and general liability insurance. The reason why you hear those two words together generally is because they go on one policy, and there is usually just like one insurance carrier that offers both insurance bundled into one because they kind of interchange with each other. So, when you're providing home care services, you are faced at risks, due to the nature of the work. So professional and general liability insurance protects your home care business. It protects your employees, your clients from any potential claims or liabilities that may arise. And one side note that I'll mention here is this just comes from over a decade of being in this business, is being sure to really ask the right questions when getting this insurance. Don't just go with anybody or any carrier. I know with Home Care Agency Blueprint, we have a special partnership with a carrier that we connect you with, and that is who I use for my own agency, and they're very good. They only insure specifically healthcare companies. That's all they do is healthcare. I'm just saying that ahead of time. If you're looking at shopping around, just make sure you ask the right questions and just be sure that you're totally covered, because I know some, even though they say it's professional and general liability insurance, if they feel that they might have terms and conditions in the policy where there could be a situation that happens that ultimately your agency's liable for it, and then they don't for some reason cover it because they have some type of term or condition statute inside of their policy where they say, well, it's not on them type of things. So it's really just making sure that you're totally covered. Now, professional liability insurance, it's also known as errors and omissions, and it basically protects you from professional negligence. So for home care realm, it could be misdiagnosis or failure to diagnose a condition. Obviously, we're not talking about that with a home care agency unless you're doing home health. That could be falling in that realm. For non-medical home care, you're not diagnosing anybody's conditions unless a client or a family member accuses of, your caregiver said something about this is what they have or whatnot. Maybe that could be a thing. But, incorrect medication administration, that's the other thing, is you will not be doing, unless you're home health, you won't be administering medications. You'll just be doing medication reminders with your caregivers. Inadequate care supervision, this is probably the biggest one. That, and then breaches of confidentiality. If for some reason a client is accusing your agency or maybe your caregiver of say for example, they screenshot a text message from the daughter that says something personal about the client, and then they find that out, and then they're upset. That could be a breach of confidentiality. Inadequate care or supervision, that could be, not having the proper caregiver. and supervision that could be on you for not providing like the right tools for your caregiver to provide like quality care. So, you know, in doing this over 10 years, thank God I've had like very little issues. I've never had to use my policies. So that's just something that, you know, this video isn't like to scare anybody or bring any fear. I just want to shed some light on what this insurance is, because people just get a little like they don't know what it is or understand it. So now, general liability, that is protection against claims related to bodily injury, property damage, you know, personal and advertising injury that occur on your business premises and result of business operations. So like examples of that are injuries to clients or visitors at your office, damages caused by your employees to a client's property. So like if a caregiver damages maybe an expensive couch in the home of your client, that could be like an example. Claims of defamation due to advertising content. This isn't really that relevant, but it's here as an example. And so you may ask, like, why is this required for home care agencies? And really the answer is legal obligations. It's required by law. You must have it. So that's like, you know, there's kind of like no choice there. It's a legal requirement. You know, in financial protection, it protects your agency to have that financial stability. And even, I know not all of them, but most of them do cover defense costs of like settlements, which can be caused by lawsuits. Now, keep in mind, it really has to fall in the line of what the policy covers. If there's a lawsuit that shows up that isn't in the realm of, you know, the insurance company feels like they're even responsible of, then they won't cover it. So it really has to be in like the protection of what's inside the policy. Reputation management, it's important to let your, you know, clients know that you have proper insurance coverage. That's important. And then just comprehensive coverage, you know, by having professional and general liability insurance, it's a great broad spectrum to make sure that most of your risks are covered. You can't, you know, have everything perfect. It just really mitigates your risk. And then, you know, on a side note, people ask like, well, this sounds like it's such an expensive policy and whatnot. It really isn't. I mean, it could be depending on what provider that you go with. I know the partnership we have, they only go by the head count. So we activate the policy based off just a couple employees when you're very first starting out. And then you can even pay monthly. You don't even have to pay yearly for this policy. And then as you end up hiring more caregivers, that means you have more caregivers on payroll, more clients, you're bringing in more revenue. You'll easily be able to pay more for the policy. And that's where, as the headcount goes up, your policy increases. And it's not astronomical. It's very reasonable. So that's just something that I wanted to drop in there. What do the policies cover? You know, professional general liability covers legal defense costs, settlements, judgments, related to failure to perform professional duties. Keep in mind, it doesn't cover everything. I mean, there are things that they limit, and not all insurance companies will say that they take responsibility. So that's just something to think about. General liability insurance covers like medical expenses, attorney fees, settlements that are related to bodily injury or property damage or personal injury claims. Why is it important? Obviously, it protects financially, you know, any loss that could be devastating for your home care business. So it protects against that, ensures you can continually provide proper care for your clients, and then it builds confidence in your clients. They know that you have the proper insurance coverage. And then like the last thing that I really already went over is just it meets your regulatory compliance requirements. So that is really kind of like an overview of professional and general liability insurance for specifically home care agencies. And I trust that this made created some more clarity for you if you were looking at what this policy was, you just wanted to learn more about it. Alrighty, so that was an overview of professional and general liability insurance for home care agencies. It is an overview. There's, you know, kind of like more in depth on specifically what policy you end up choosing for your home care agency. It's good to ask lots of questions to your provider that your rep that you're going to be speaking with in regards to getting this insurance set up. If you are interested with Home Care Agency Blueprint, we can set you up and handle all of this on your behalf. If you'd like to book a call with me, there's the link in the description below, and we can talk about getting you set up. We have preferred vendors and suppliers that are ready to go, and they can even expedite the process. So instead of taking weeks, it could be 5, 6, 7 days to set up all the insurances you need. So all right, thanks for being here, and please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you feel like you're getting value, and I will continue to post more videos. Thanks so much.